Sometimes the smallest shift changes everything. Not the kind you can see from the outside, but the quiet one that happens inside your mind, almost unnoticed. People often think they improve their English by collecting new words, memorizing expressions, repeating phrases until they sound perfect. But the truth is softer, deeper, almost invisible. You don't improve your English when you learn more words, but when you change the way you see yourself speaking. I've met so many students who know exactly what to say. They understand every sentence, every question, every intention, yet something inside them whispers, "Not yet, not me, not now." And that whisper becomes a wall made not of grammar or vocabulary, but of fear of sounding strange, of being judged, of not matching the version of themselves they hope to be. But here's the beautiful part. When your mindset shifts, even slightly, the wall cracks. Suddenly, you don't wait for the perfect sentence. You try, you breathe, you speak, you allow yourself to exist in English, even if your voice shakes a little. And in that moment, that tiny, brave moment, your English begins to grow. So today, Marcus and I want to show you something simple but powerful. How changing your mindset can change the way English feels inside you. Not through pressure, not through rules, but through a different way of seeing yourself. Let's begin.
You know, Olivia, something strange happened yesterday.
Strange in a good way or in a worrying way?
Somewhere in the middle, I think. I was at a coffee shop, and the barista asked me a simple question. Just, anything else for you today? And I understood it perfectly. But my mind froze. Completely.
Froze like you didn't know what to say, or froze like you knew exactly what to say, but something held you back?
The second one. I knew the answer. I even rehearsed it in my head. Yes, actually, could I also get a lemon muffin? Easy, right? But for some reason, I couldn't make the words come out. It felt like my mouth wasn't connected to my thoughts.
That's more common than you think. And it has nothing to do with your English level.
That's what scares me. Because I understood everything. I just couldn't speak.
Marcus, let me ask you something. When you imagine yourself speaking English, what picture comes to your mind?
I guess a version of me that sounds confident. Maybe even a bit more polished.
Polished?
You know, smoother. More native-like, I guess. Someone who never hesitates.
And because you're not that version yet, you feel like you shouldn't speak at all.
Exactly. It's almost like I want to speak, but only if it comes out perfect.
That's the mindset trap. Want to know a natural expression for that? Perfection paralysis.
Perfection paralysis. That sounds like what I've been dealing with.
Most learners go through it. You understand everything. You're capable. But inside there's a small voice saying, if it's not perfect, don't say it.
Yes, that's exactly the voice.
And do you know what that voice really is?
Fear?
Fear pretending to be responsibility. Fear pretending to be standards. Fear pretending to be identity. But still fear.
So what am I supposed to do? Just speak badly?
Not badly, honestly. There's a natural phrase for this too. Speak before you're ready.
That sounds terrifying.
It is, but it's also liberating. Because English doesn't grow from perfection. It grows from presence.
Presence?
Being here. Being real. Being you. Even when your voice feels shaky.
Funny, that's exactly what happened. My voice felt small, like it didn't belong in English.
Let me tell you something. Every language has a different emotional temperature. Your Portuguese voice is warm, expressive, confident. Your English voice is still in the early stages of becoming itself. It's like a child learning how to walk.
So I shouldn't expect it to run.
Exactly. There's another expression you can use, one step at a time.
Makes sense, but the frustration is real.
Tell me what you felt in that moment at the coffee shop. Use your own words.
I felt embarrassed. Like everyone was waiting for me to say something, and I just couldn't. Then I felt silly for being afraid of such a simple sentence.
And after that?
I kept replaying the moment in my head, thinking, why didn't I just say it? Then I tried to justify it. Maybe the barista talked too fast, or maybe I wasn't fully paying attention. But deep down I knew what it was.
Which is?
Fear of sounding wrong. Fear of sounding not enough.
Thank you for saying that out loud. That honesty is the exact mindset shift we're talking about today.
But how does talking about it help?
Because naming the feeling reduces its power. Another useful expression, call it by its name.
So, if I say, I'm afraid of sounding wrong, it makes the fear smaller?
It makes you bigger. When you hide the fear, it grows. When you say it out loud, it becomes something you can understand and eventually release.
You make it sound simple.
It's simple, not easy.
Okay, but tell me honestly, do your other students feel this too?
Every single one. The only difference is the story they tell themselves. Some say, I'm not good enough yet. Others say, people will laugh at me. Others say, I sound weird. And some say exactly what you said. Not me. Not yet.
That's exactly how it feels. Like English is for everyone else, and I'm just borrowing it.
You're not borrowing it. You're building it. And building takes time, mistakes, repetition, and compassion.
Compassion? For myself?
Precisely. Learners underestimate how emotional language is. When you speak English, you're not just producing sounds. You're exposing a part of yourself, a vulnerable part.
That explains why it feels so personal.
Try saying the sentence. It's okay if I don't sound perfect.
Out loud?
Out loud.
It's okay if I don't sound perfect.
Again.
It's okay if I don't sound perfect, I guess.
No, I guess. Say it like you believe it, even if you don't.
It's okay if I don't sound perfect.
How did that feel?
Strange, but lighter. Almost like I gave myself permission.
That is the mindset shift. Permission. You can also use another natural expression. Let yourself try.
Let myself try, I like that.
Can I show you something?
Sure.
If I were learning Portuguese and I told you, I'm afraid of sounding wrong, what would you say to me?
I'd tell you it's part of learning. That nobody speaks perfectly at the beginning. And that making mistakes is normal.
Exactly. So why don't you offer yourself the same kindness?
Because I don't know. Maybe because I expect more from myself.
Expectation without compassion becomes pressure, and pressure freezes your voice.
That hits hard.
Let me give you a natural expression for that. Take the pressure off.
So, if I take the pressure off, it's easier to speak?
Much easier. When you remove the pressure, English stops being a test and becomes a conversation.
That sounds peaceful.
That's the goal. Peace instead of fear. Presence instead of perfection.
It's funny, I've always thought speaking English was about information. About saying the right thing.
Speaking is not only about information. It's about connection. There's a phrase I love. Language lives between people.
That is beautiful.
And true. When you think of English as a bridge, not a performance, everything changes.
A bridge, yeah, that actually makes sense.
So tell me, Marcus, If you could go back to that moment in the coffee shop, what would you change?
I think I would breathe first. Then I try. Even if my voice trembled a little.
That's the shift. Try, even if your voice shakes.
Olivia, I think for the first time, I understand what held me back.
And what was it?
Not my English. My mindset.
Exactly. And now we're going to change that, one conversation at a time.
I'm ready. Or at least, I'm ready enough.
And that's all you need today. Ready enough. Marcus, here's something most learners never hear. English isn't a ladder you climb. It's a room you enter. And the way you step into that room depends far more on how you feel than on how many words you know. People imagine language learning as a technical journey, grammar rules, vocabulary lists, pronunciation charts. But beneath all of that, there is something much quieter shaping everything, your mindset. A mindset shift happens the moment you stop trying to sound perfect and start trying to sound present. When you realize you don't need flawless grammar to express a real thought or to share a real feeling. When you stop performing and start connecting, that's when English stops being a mask and starts becoming a voice. Think about it. You understood every word at the coffee shop. Your brain had the language, but your fear had the microphone. Fear says, you must say it correctly. Presence says, say it honestly. And honesty always feels more natural, even when the sentence is simple. There's a phrase I love using with my students, meaning over perfection. It reminds you that your goal is connection, not choreography. Another useful expression is, say it the way you can, not the way you wish you could. Because the way you can speak today is enough to start a real conversation. And conversations, not perfect sentences, are what build fluency. When you allow yourself to be imperfect, something magical happens. Your brain stops panicking. Your thoughts flow more freely. Your voice feels lighter. You stop fighting the language and begin living in it. That's the true shift when English becomes a space where you can breathe. And the moment you breathe, you speak. So remember this, Marcus. You don't grow in English when you memorize more words. You grow when you trust the words you already have. That trust, that gentle permission, is the mindset shift that changes everything. So, Marcus, ready to try the mindset shift in real time?
I think so. Well, maybe not think, but I'm willing. That counts, right?
That's the spirit. Willingness is already a different mindset. Tell me about your morning, but do it without planning the sentences first.
Without planning? That's dangerous.
Exactly. Go on.
Okay, my morning was kind of slow. I woke up later than I wanted to. I was supposed to go for a run, but honestly I just stayed in bed scrolling on my phone.
Good. Keep going. Don't fix anything. Just follow the thought.
Then I got up and made coffee and I don't know, I felt this heavy feeling like I wasn't doing enough with my day yet.
That's a natural expression right there. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. Perfectly said.
Really? Because in my head it sounded messy.
Messy is human, and human is exactly what makes English flow.
Okay, so after that, I sat at my desk and tried to work. But my mind kept drifting. And then I remembered our conversation about presence instead of perfection.
And how did that change your morning?
It made me breathe. Like, it's fine if I start small. So I wrote just one sentence of what I needed to do. And somehow that helped.
That's another useful natural line. Start small. It works in English learning too.
True, like this conversation. Just starting small.
Exactly. Now let's do something new. I want you to tell me a story, but if you get stuck, don't stop. Just switch to a simpler way of saying it,
That sounds terrifying again.
which means it's perfect practice. Ready?
All right. Here goes. So last week, I went to a bookstore near my house. I wanted a new notebook.
Good. Keep going.
And while I was there, this older man started talking to me. I didn't expect it. He asked what I was looking for, and I tried to answer in English because, well, I don't know, I panicked.
What did you say?
Said something like, I want a simple notebook for my thoughts? And then I wasn't sure if thoughts was the right word.
It was. And even if it wasn't, you still communicated the meaning clearly.
But then he asked, what kind of thoughts? And I froze again. Completely.
If that happened now, what would you say?
Maybe just everyday things. Ideas, things I want to remember. Things I need to write down so they don't disappear.
That's lovely. And notice how you kept speaking. You rephrased naturally. That's called circling around the idea.
Circling around the idea. I like that. It feels forgiving.
It is. Adults forget how normal it is to reformulate sentences. Even native speakers do it constantly.
Yeah, sometimes I hear people say, actually, let me rephrase that. And it sounds totally normal.
Exactly. You can use that too. Try it.
Actually, let me rephrase that. That felt natural.
Because it is natural. Now tell me, how do you feel speaking right now compared to earlier?
Lighter. Less policed by my own brain.
That's the mindset shift in action. You're not trying to prove anything. You're just communicating.
But sometimes my sentences still feel slow.
Slow is okay. Slow is clarity. Try saying, let me think for a second.
Let me think for a second. Oh, that actually gives me space.
See? English gives you room to breathe if you let it.
I never thought about it like that.
Most people don't. They think speaking fast means speaking well. But the most natural English is calm, thoughtful, and honest.
So I don't need to rush?
Not at all. You're not running from anyone. You're meeting yourself in another language.
That is beautiful.
Now, let's push a little more. Tell me something personal. Not perfect, personal.
Okay, something personal. I think I've always felt like English is this door I'm knocking on. And sometimes it opens and sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know why.
Try expressing that again, but simpler. Don't chase the perfect metaphor. Just speak.
Okay, I feel like English accepts me some days and rejects me on others. Like some days I speak easily. And other days everything feels stuck.
That's honest. Very honest. And very human.
And I used to think that meant my English was inconsistent. But maybe it's just me.
Exactly. There's a natural expression for this. Some days flow, some days don't.
That describes it perfectly.
And all of those days are part of your journey.
You know what's strange? I can feel myself speaking differently right now.
How so?
I'm not rehearsing the lines in my head. I'm not checking every word before I say it. I'm just speaking.
And how does that feel?
Freeing. Like my English is finally my voice, not some version of me I'm trying to imitate.
That's exactly what I wanted you to feel. Here's one more phrase that fits today. Use the English you have and the rest will grow.
Use the English I have. Yeah, I can do that.
You already are.
Olivia, thank you. I know this is just a conversation, but it feels important. Like something shifted.
Something has shifted. And once it shifts, it doesn't go back. From now on, every sentence you speak will carry less fear and more truth.
I want that. I really do.
Then keep doing exactly what you did today. Speak even when it's imperfect. Breathe when you get stuck. Rephrase when you need to. And trust your voice.
I'll try, even if my voice shakes.
That's all I ask. And remember, Marcus, every language grows where there is courage. And you were brave today. There's a moment, quiet and almost invisible, when English stops being something you chase and becomes a place where you can simply exist. A place where your thoughts don't need permission, where your sentences don't need perfection, and where your voice, your real voice, is allowed to breathe. Learning a language isn't mastery of words. It's acceptance of yourself inside a new sound, a new rhythm, a new world. When you stop trying to perform English and start allowing yourself to be in English, something shifts. The fear softens, the pressure fades, and the language opens for you, slowly, gently, like a door that was never truly locked. So today, I invite you to carry this mindset with you. Speak before you feel ready. Rephrase when you need to. Let your voice tremble if it has to. That's where real fluency begins, in the honest, imperfect space between courage and expression. If this conversation helped you, subscribe to the channel and stay with us. And if you want to keep practicing this gentle shift, there's another video waiting for you, right here, appearing on your screen now.